Truth seekers, we are deep in clown world. I'll start off here.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
In not being able to answer the question of if agents of the FBI had been involved in criminal activity on January 6th, in my opinion, this is compatible with a rescission of the mandate of the agency. There is now a need for the agency to more clearly express the reason why they exist, or face the risk of being disbanded with existing functions subsumed into the National Guard. This is corrupt. I usually don't make statements this forceful, but this context is about as clear-cut as it can be. As I'll show in this video, multiple agencies are engaging in very clear misconduct. The source for this video review is FBI refuses to state if they did not commit crimes during January 6th riot encouraged violence. On the Daily Wire, there were some explosive Senate hearings this morning involving Dr. Fauci. Look to how upset this guy is getting here.
So you are getting amazingly wrong information.
Amazing.
So I cannot find them. Our office cannot find them. Where would they be if they're public knowledge? Where?
It is totally accessible to you if you want it.
For the public. Is it accessible
to the public? To the public.
Great. We look forward
You
to
are
reviewing.
totally incorrect.
Okay, now look at this little Easter egg.
Moran.
This is Jesus Christ. Calls the Lord's name in vain too. That's Dr. Fauci for you guys. Apparently he was going at Senator Marshall from Kansas. So some excerpts of email communications with Dr. Francis Collins and Anthony Fauci, among others, was released today. The letter was also written to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary, requesting the actual transcribed interview of Dr. Fauci. That was the basis of some of these released email communications. I'm going to scroll down to some of the highlights of the communications. So here you have an email from Dr. Jeremy Farrar to Collins, Fauci, and Tabak. You see that the pages were completely redacted, but this redacted communication was shown to Congress on camera and allowed to be transcribed. So here's the transcribed version of that. I zero in on the key words here. He is bothered by the Furin site and has had a hard time explaining that the event outside the lab. So a focus on the potential genetic engineering of this Furin site. So given above, a likely explanation could be something as simple as a passage of SARS-like codes in tissue culture in human cell lines for an extended period of time, accidentally creating a virus that would be primed for rapid transmission between humans via gain of Furin site from tissue cultures and adaptation to human ACE2 receptor via repeated passage. From Bob, I really can't think of a plausible natural scenario where you get from the bat virus, or one very similar to it, the NCOV, where you can insert exactly 4 amino acids, 12 nucleotide, all have been added at the exact same time to gain this function. That, and you don't change any other amino acid in S2, I just can't figure out how this gets accomplished in nature. And so we're talking about the formation of the Furin site. So this shows that at the time of this particular conference, where there was the email communication, there was a hot debate amongst the heads of the scientific community in the United States concerning the origin. The date of this was February 2nd, 2020. So they're talking about this in this way at that time. Okay, so then we have a reply from Dr. Francis Collins. But I share your view that a swift convening of experts in the confidence-inspiring framework, who seems really the only option, is needed, or the voices of the C-word will continue to dominate, doing great potential harm to science and international harmony. You see, Dr. Collins is very focused on perception. Here's Dr. Andrew Rambot's reply. Thanks for inviting me on the call yesterday. I am also agnostic on this. I do not have any experience of laboratory virology and don't know what is likely or not in that context. From a natural evolutionary point of view, the only thing here that strikes me as unusual is the Furin cleavage site. And I think the only people with the sufficient information or access to samples to address it would be the teams working in Wuhan. And this portion highlighted because it does show the professional opinions at that time, February 2020, where the buck stops at in Wuhan. From Dr. Fauci, an accusation that nCoV-19 might have been engineered and released into the environment by humans, would need to be supported by strong data, beyond a reasonable doubt. It is good that this possibility was discussed in detail with a team of experts. However, field debate about such accusations would unnecessarily distract top researchers from their active duties and do unnecessary harm to science in general, and science in China in particular. Ooh, so we gotta look at our political associations. We can't support the truth when it's inconvenient to such. Dr. Jeremy Farrar gives his opinion on lab versus environment. I say Eddie Holmes, 60-40 lab, I'm about 50-50. Then from this communication, you have the highlighted response from Dr. Collins to Fauci, Tabak, and Lane, wondering if there is something NIH can do to help put down this very destructive sea with what seems to be growing momentum. And so then he links to a Mediatite article about Fox's Brett Baer claiming sources are increasingly confident that you-know-what started in Wuhan. And it also looks like Dr. Collins is zeroing in on this particular Nature Medicine article about the genomic sequence of the poke bug, Veronoceros. Okay, so we have a series of documents released by Project Veritas. All measure of retaliation has occurred since Project Veritas uploaded their video. Yes, Project Veritas itself was booted from Twitter, but you can find them on Getter. It'll take some effort confirming these. In summary, we have a commandant of the Marine Corps, who's a fellow of DARPA, sending a message to the Inspector General, summarizing conclusions gleaned from a variety of documents that are not declassified, who just nonchalantly explains in his summary that the Veronoceros, the American-created recombinant bat, you-know-what, or its precursor virus, just plainly states it was created by Equal Health Alliance program at the Wuhan Institute, as suggested by the previously debated lab leak hypothesis. Peter Daszak's directly named as one who laid out step by step what the organization intended to do, phase by phase and location. It's humanized. The purpose of the Equal Health program, called Diffuse, was to inoculate bats in Yunnan, China caves. The bats would have immune system reinforcement to prevent deadly SARS-CoV from emerging. Specifically, novel chimeric polyvalent spike proteins would be used to enhance the bat's adaptive immune memory against those viruses. So, EcoHealth submitted the proposal first to the Department of Defense before it settled with NIH. There was a response dated March 18th submitted by Peter Daszak, the president of EcoHealth Alliance. Now, I presume speaking of the preempt folder and preempt documents, the files completely unmarked with classification or distribution data placed in this folder in July 2021, which aligns conspicuously with media reporting and Senator Paul's inquiry about the NIH gain-of-function programs. The unmarked nature combined with the timing signals that the documents were being hidden. This paragraph gives a lot of detail about theories concerning if it was attenuated or weakened or not, the scourge taking over a world. And here you have your key terms. Early treatment inhibits the viral replication that spreads spike protein throughout the body, and the specific name drops that I can't even name on this platform. But essentially these are labeled as curative. I'm guessing there's going to be some type of fantastic Associated Press debunk of the Veritas expose coming in the next few days. It has to happen, because if not, accountability is the next logical step in the situation. And I mean real accountability.